Just because a consulate has closed its doors in Jerusalem does not mean the U.S. is leaving for good. This decision was driven by our global efforts to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of our diplomatic engagements and operations, State Department spokesman Robert Palladino claimed. Palestinians are having trouble respecting the U.S. and their peacemaking skills when it affects them so greatly with a huge cost. Consul General Karen Sashahara will step down and will not be replaced to move in a different direction as far as leadership is concerned. Here to tell us more is the ambassador to Israel for the Church of God in Christ with more than 6 million members, Dr. Glenn Plummer. Thank you for being with us, Doctor.
You're welcome. Looking forward to our conversation.
So, what are the terms of shuttering the consulate, and what does that really mean for us in layman's terms for those that might not understand exactly what's going on?
Well, that phrase, I saw that in the AP, in the Associated Press report, shuttering. Think of it as shutters on your house, shutters on your window. In other words, it shuts it. And so that's all that they meant by that phrase, meaning that the consulate in Jerusalem has been closed. Now, it's really important to understand kind of both the history and then kind of a larger perspective, because this is not just an issue regarding the Trump administration. It goes way back before Obama. It goes way back before the United States. It goes thousands of years. And so this issue of the Palestinians and the Israelis is both a historically biblical issue, but it's also, from a geopolitical perspective, it predates it goes back, I guess, to World War II. So in Tel Aviv is where the United States had its embassy. In Jerusalem, we had a consulate. And so every year, every president has signed a waiver in order for the embassy not to move to Jerusalem, in order not to stir up the problem with Palestinians,
right,
the Arab Muslims, so that there would be peace. Donald Trump, President Trump, is the first president that made the decision to move our embassy to where it's supposed to be, which every embassy in every country is in the capital of that country. Ours was in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is not the capital of Israel. Jerusalem is. And so when we moved our embassy to Jerusalem, that stirred up many Palestinians, many Arab Muslims, because they want Jerusalem to be the capital of the new country called Palestine, which, by the way, doesn't exist yet. And so that's the argument.
Well, do you think that that's been the biggest negative effect of it?
I'm sorry?
Do you think that that's been the biggest negative effect of moving everything to Jerusalem?
Well, yes, because what we had there was a consulate, an office, and a consul general. Mm-hmm. Now the ambassador to the United States now resides, his office is in Jerusalem, and this becomes an acknowledgement by the United States that Jerusalem is now the capital of Israel, and
correct,
it's not the capital of what would be Palestine, which is what the Arab world wants to see happen. And so, to President Trump's credit, frankly, the idea of having our embassy in Jerusalem, who argues that Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel? Everyone knows that. Children from Sunday school lesson knows that. And so, Jerusalem is in fact and indeed the capital of Israel.
Well, how will the merger itself affect the success of business between Israel and the U.S.? I mean, can we still trust each other with all the things that have transpired with us?
Well, when you say us and the merger, let's understand that the merger is between the United States Consulate office and the embassy. And so what the current administration has done is just merge those two so that it was a separate consulate office, which has been there for years, and the embassy, which was in Tel Aviv. They've merged them together now, so there's no longer the need for the Consulate General of the United States to be in Jerusalem. Now the ambassador's there. And so is it good for business? it's good for business as it relates to the Israel-United States relationship. It's good for
Right.
business as it relates to U.S. business. It is a problem when it comes to Palestinians. But I don't know that we really have a business relationship with Palestinians.
Well, I do want to talk about money because money has so much to do with this case as well. So now that millions have been slashed by the U.S. and cut back from the aid that we normally send to Israel internationally, where is that money going to be going now?
Well, wait a minute. Let me correct that because your statement is not correct. The
Okay.
aid that we give to Israel, which has been about $3 billion, has not been slashed. It's not been changed at all. What's been changed is the aid that we've been giving to the Palestinians. Now think of it.
Okay.
The United States has been giving both Israel and Palestinians money. Now we've been giving billions to Israel and we've been giving millions to the Palestinians.
Big
Because the
difference, right?
Palestinians have now resisted the move of the United States, President Trump basically took the attitude, look, we're giving you money and you're going to do this to us. And so we have now slashed the aid to the Palestinians, which, you know, is a problem because the Palestinians in Gaza, for example, are landlocked, meaning that they can't, you know, leave that little area of Gaza. It's a small little area and has over 1 million people, very
Well,
concentrated. They can't go into Israel and they're on the Mediterranean. And so Israel approves any shipment of any goods that comes into that area. And so the United States has been, you know, the one who's been giving money to keep the Palestinians, you know, food,
right.
medicine, and
Well,
other kinds of support. My understanding is we've slashed that.
well, in about 10 seconds here, tell me, do you think he made the right decision with this?
I do. I think that the president did make the right decision. As a nation, we've been talking about peace, peace, peace between the Palestinians and Israel. It just hasn't happened. We've been walking this fine line. I think that a bold move that the president has made, in my opinion, is the right move. I'm a
All right.
Christian. I'm a
Well,
believer. I'm a person who believes the Bible, and I believe that Israel
we've got to,
is a land of the Bible. It's the Holy Land. It's the place for Jews, for Israel,
Dr. Plummer.
and for that matter, Christians and Muslims would say it's our place also. But look,
Dr. Plummer,
it's
we're out
Israel,
of time.
and I think the president did the right thing.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Plummer, for your time. Sorry we had to cut you short.